Viewers, a 15-year-old boy from the Samba district of Jammu and Kashmir has been detained for allegedly sharing sensitive information about Indian Army locations and security installations with the Pakistan spy agency ISI and Pakistan-based terror handlers. This 15-year-old teenager, with his entire life in front of him, was radicalized by Pakistan. Tonight, we'll expose the ISI handlers' toolkit to weaponize our vulnerable children. This teenager was tech-savvy and remained active on social media. This is where Pakistan snared him. He was also in touch with Sajid Bhatti, a narco syndicate operator from across the border. Police are trying to investigate further and, in fact, trying to identify the teenager's associates. As per sources, Sajid Bhatti was not just indoctrinating minors, but also pushing them into drug abuse. The police has also revealed that the 15-year-old boy was in contact with Pak terror elements for over a year.
He's under some depression, and ultimately they came to know what is the reason. And reason behind the depression was his father's death, and he presumed that some sort of murder he was presuming. So he wanted to take revenge of his father's death. So that was the clicking point for agencies, Pak-based agencies, and they got him trapped, and they instructed him to do such things like taking pictures, videos of security establishments, army establishments.
The ISI even cloned his phone and used Tikko social media app to connect with the 15-year-old. He was then sent to the heavily fortified area of Pathankot, where he took videos and pictures of army movements and security installations. These were then shared with his handler, Sajid Bhatti, using the app. Now, after a tip-off, the Punjab Police and security agencies managed to nab him. When the police scanned the minor's phone, they found a dark web of contact numbers of anti-national elements and ISI terror handlers. According to top police sources, a total of 42 kids, 12 from Punjab and Haryana, and 30 from Jammu and Kashmir are under the scam.
You're watching the News Hour at 10, debate number 2 on Times Now, Super Prime Time.
Let's take this across to our guest. Major Samarpal Toor, retired defense analyst, is joining us on the show. Pathikrit Pain, geopolitical analyst, continues with us. Major Nadeem, of course, is also going to join us. We have Dr. Atikur Rahman, Professor of International Relations, joining us. But let me start first with Major Samarpal Toor. Not entirely surprising, but Pakistan appears to be sinking to a new low each day.
Madhav, looking at the pattern, definitely it's a new low. They've now started targeting children. Why children? Children are very vulnerable. They get carried away, and you offer them anything in terms of humility, or you show them compassion, empathy. The children usually get carried away, and then they do what they are instructed to do. Here, most probably, they have taken advantage of the mental state of the children. So, and even today, there has been a minor who's been arrested in Ambala. And since 2020, that minor was working in a construction, for the construction project in Ambala. And he had been constantly sending messages in terms of the movement of Air Force and military in Ambala, being a part of the construction company. And he was honey trapped. And so that is how, they get entangled into it, then they get blackmailed. And the reason is that once they start getting blackmailed is where they are pushed even further. And they are made to face more dangerous tasks. And ultimately, this is the result, that they get caught. And now probably it's going to be a life sentence for them throughout. It's going to be a rigorous life imprisonment. So the consequences, they are not aware of. They are very young and very vulnerable. And Madhav, this is a real and present danger, and it will increase. The more access the youth will have with technology, the more vulnerability is going to increase. It is not going to decrease.
All right. Let me bring in, on that note, Dr. Atikur Rahman. Dr. Atikur Rahman, one has heard about various tactics, honey trapping, so on and so forth, cyber jihadis, etc. But what is this? Even children are not being spared by ISI. What's going on? It doesn't get lower than this.
जी थैंक यू सो मच एक अच्छे टॉपिक पे मुझे इनवाइट करने के लिए इससे पहले कि आप मेरे माइक को डाउन कर दें और मेरी आवाज को लो कर दें नहीं मुझे आवाज नहीं आ रही
बोलिए सर हम तो आपको इनवाइट कर रहे हैं बोलिए जवाब दीजिए
जी मैं बोल रहा हूँ कि मैं सिर्फ एक बात बोलूंगा कि हमारी आईएसआई और फौज की वजह से क्यों आपकी नींदें उड़ चुकी हैं क्यों आप इतने डरे हुए हैं क्यों आप तरह तरह की स्टोरियां बनाते रहते हैं
सर स्टोरियां नहीं है
कोई
अथेंटिसिटी पुलिस ऑफिसर ऑन रिकॉर्ड
आप इतने डरे हुए क्यों हैं सिर्फ ये बता दें
डरे हुए नहीं है सर डरे हुए नहीं है आपको मैं समझाता हूँ आपको समझ नहीं है स्टोरी इसलिए आपको समझाता हूँ फोन में सोशल मीडिया ऐप मिली है फोन में आपके पाकिस्तानियों के काफी सारे नंबर मिले हुए हैं और आप बच्चों को तक नहीं छोड़ रहे हैं शर्म आनी चाहिए आप लोगों को शर्म आनी चाहिए कि आप लोगों को बच्चों को तक छोड़ नहीं रहे हैं
इसी चैनल को मिली है मैं हैरान हूं इस बात पे
नहीं सर इसी चैनल पे नहीं पूरे इंडियन मीडिया ने इसको रिपोर्ट किया है पूरे इंडियन मीडिया ने रिपोर्ट किया है अब सारे वेबसाइट्स खोलिए आपने शायद देखे नहीं होंगे कहीं पे बट द प्रॉब्लम डॉक्टर अतीकुर रहमान इज वी हैव अ रिस्पांसिबल पुलिस ऑफिसर हु हैज एक्सपोज्ड दिस रैकेट. And it's not only one incident. There are dozens of children in various states. Pakistan is targeting, those in Jammu, Kashmir, Punjab and Haryana.
डिप्रेशन से जिस पेन से गुजरे हैं जो आपने मुंह की खाई है मई में
मुंह की किसने खाई है पता है सर नूर खान एयरबेस के गड्ढे भर दिए आपने
हमारी फौज और आईएसआई के बारे में आपके दिमागों में बैठा है अब हर वक्त उनके बारे में
मुझे दिमाग में नहीं बैठा ओके समरपाल तूर
यार भले दुनिया में कोई और काम
समरपाल तूर
कहूंगा नदीम जी पाकिस्तान अवाम को सारी बातें नहीं पता है इनफैक्ट आपकी DGISPR ने 3 घंटे 45 मिनट मतलब कौन 4 घंटे का प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस करता है मतलब मैं आपको कि जो पाकिस्तान मीडिया है इट इज फिल्टर्ड इट इज रिस्ट्रिक्टेड और ये आप ही के जो सीनियर जर्नलिस्ट हैं द डॉन न्यूज़पेपर के उन्होंने खुद बयान किया है कि द पाकिस्तान मिलिट्री इज मॉनिटरिंग एंड फिल्टरिंग एवरी इन्फ्लुएंसर यूट्यूबर आपने तो मेजर आदिल राजा आपके खुद के वेटरन अफसर को आपने 99 साल कैद सुना दी तो देखें माहौल बहुत खराब है एक कारण है कि आसिफ मुनीर बुलेट प्रूफ जैकेट और बुलेट प्रूफ शीशे के पीछे अपने ही सिपाहियों से बात कर रहे हैं तो देखें वल्नरेबिलिटी बहुत ज्यादा है पाकिस्तान अवाम को ओपन में बातें नहीं बताई जा रही तो जायज है कि जैसे आप डिनाइल में हैं कि नहीं ऐसे नहीं हो सकता तो सर ऐसी बिल्कुल मैं सच्चाई बता रहा हूँ
थैंक यू सो मच मुझे ये बताने के लिए मुझे बेहतर पता है मुझे जो बातें बताई जा रही हैं जो नहीं बताई जा रही मुझे पता है मैं इसमें जो भी बताई जा रही है नहीं बताई जा रही मैं उससे सेटिस्फाई हूँ अपने मुल्क में हम अवाम सेटिस्फाई हैं आपको उसकी टेंशन लेने की जरूरत नहीं है
मेजर नदीम आपके डिफेंस मिनिस्टर ने खुद एडमिट किया है वी हैव डन द डर्टी वर्क ऑफ द वेस्ट मेजर नदीम व्हाई डू यू फॉरगेट योर ओन डिफेंस मिनिस्टर इज इट नॉट अ फैक्ट दैट ख्वाजा आसिफ एडमिटेड लाइव on television that we have done the dirty work of the West? You're continuing to do dirty work. You're continuing to do dirty work. You're targeting minors. Nowhere in the world will this be acceptable, Major. You should understand, Major Nadeem is also joining us, but before he comes across, I want Pathikrit Pain to respond to that. Pathikrit Pain, this is utterly despicable. Nowhere in the world do you see this kind of situation where shamelessly teenagers are targeted.
Madhav, first of all, during Operation Sindoor, it was the Pakistani civilians who were uploading videos of explosions in Pakistan. So it was not India. They were uploading and telling that, look, India ne bomb gira diya. Secondly, see, we don't need a validation from people from Pakistan on this issue. Everybody knows who is a failed state and who has been considered as a terror hub. The reality is we do have a problem with young minds, impressionable minds who are vulnerable, who are tech savvy, who are always on the net. This Gen Z, unfortunately, our education system is such that we do not inculcate the values of patriotism from the school curriculum itself. And you would invariably have these problems. You know why it is being done? They know that the state of India will be in confusion if whether you deal an underage kid as a hardcore terrorist or not. Because they know that the adults will be dealt with with bullets. So that's why they're doing this. Tomorrow you might even find teenagers, underage, 14, 15-year-olds coming up and doing fidai attacks. How would the state deal with that? So our problem is that which we have to deal with. And of course, the agencies are doing their work, but we are dealing with an unprincipled, brazen, without any rules of engagement era, where these kind of things would happen. And you need to come out with issues of how to deal with it, how to sensitize the young generation, how they filter the facts from the fakes. They don't know it. So anybody who sympathizes with them online, they feel that they are their mentor, and then they fall for that trap, which we have to deal with. Today,
Absolutely.
It's not about getting into a Pakistani debate because we know who is doing it.
Absolutely.
How do we
know
deal
who's
with
doing
that?
it. We are just calling them to show them the mirror. That's the only thing, the only reason we are calling them. And Major Nadeem, you can answer this. It doesn't get any lower than this. What does this speak of? Is this just purely desperation? Or is this, complete moral collapse? Your economy has anyway collapsed. Your moral circumference has also completely collapsed, it appears, when you look at these kind of situations. You're targeting young children.
But Sir Madhav, why should we use minors, underage children, where 75% of the Indian population is below the poverty line? Why can't we purchase? If we have to do that, why can't we purchase a better option if the better option is available? And most of the people in India are willing to do anything for money.
No. Mr. Nadeem, I think you're sadly mistaken.
Minors, and why should we go for the kids, right?
What I find amazing is how Major Nadeem and Professor Atikur are in some different La La land.
Yes.
Different fantasy land. It is your economy which is collapsed. You are unable to feed your people, and you are saying that Indians are purchasable. I mean, it doesn't get more shocking than this.
Economy is not documented fully.
It is not documented. People running around for rations, we've seen where people are running around for them.
Yeah, you go to any Google, you go in Google that where are the most of the poor people are living. The answer
because you people don't even have the ability to survey the the economic standards. I know you're completely lacking in data as well. But let me just remind you. Let me remind you what your defense minister said. Just be patient. 10 seconds. This is what Khaja Asif said. Listen in.
इस मुल्क के अंदर अफगान जिहाद लड़ने के लिए आपका तालीमी निसाब चेंज किया गया. आपका तालीमी निसाब यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ नब्रास्का से बन के आया. CIA ने आपको निसाब दिया कि आपने इस निसाब के तहत नई नस्ल अपनी पढ़ानी है और उसको जवान करना है. और वो नस्ल जवान हो चुकी है. हमारे पाकिस्तान में कहीं भी एक तारीख नहीं पढ़ाई जाती, एक जोग्राफिया नहीं पढ़ाया जाता, एक दीनियात नहीं. अब दीनियात का नाम इस्लामियात कर दिया गया. ये इस्लामाइजेशन का जो एक बुखार था, हम शामिल थे उसमें. बुखार था जो 80 की दहाई के अंदर जो चढ़ा हमें बुखार वो हमारा अपने दीन के लिए नहीं था, वो अमेरिका के इंटरेस्ट को प्रोटेक्ट करने के लिए था, क्योंकि वो एक जंग लड़ रहे थे सोवियत यूनियन के खिलाफ.
मेजर नदीम, जवाब दीजिए. आपके तो खुद के मंत्री एडमिट कर रहे हैं कि आपकी तालीम की सारी जो करिकुलम है यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ नेब्रास्का के द्वारा CIA ने दी है इस्लामाइजेशन की, और इस पे वो शामिल भी हुआ है. उनका खुद का एडमिशन है आपके असेंबली में. इट डजंट गेट एनी मोर ब्रेजन देन दिस.
देखिए, he was talking about the 80s. First of all, right? It happened in 80s.
And he says, तब के बच्चे अब जवान हो गए. It is about the mindset, sir. It is about the radicalization mindset.
Now we are ahead of it, 45 years ahead of it, right? So please don't bring clips of the 80s or 60s or 50s, right?
This is not the clips of the 80s. This is your reality. We are showing you a mirror. This is what Pakistan is all about. Admit that you are a terror state. Admit that you will fall to any law to try and radicalize people. Admit that.
This is his personal opinion, basically.
On the assembly, in the assembly, it's his personal opinion. Your defense minister, are you joking?
Yes.
Are you joking?
Giving the statement.
What do you mean personal opinion?
The uncontrolled madrasas.
Ridiculous.
Right? Now the syllabus has changed.
It's so tragic, actually. It's so tragic that you can't even see the sad reality that you're faced with. Major Savarpal Toor, it's the personal opinion, apparently, of the defense minister. On a day when they are caught radicalizing kids. Their mentality is exposed before the world.
I am so astonished that they don't even give relevance to their own defense minister's statement. Then why have you taken him as a defense minister? Why do you let him speak in your assembly then? If you call it, I mean, assembly is not a place where you give personal opinions. You talk on behalf of the people. You talk by, of, and for the people. You are elected by the people so that you can come in the assembly and then speak. And when you speak, it is a national representation and it is internationally recognized. So, Nadeem sir, please, आप ये मत बोलें कि it is a personal opinion, number one. Number two, you have lost control of the new generation, whom you had radicalized 20 years back. They are beyond your control. Now, Afghanis have used them. Afghanis are employing them for Fedayeen attacks against you. And it is a taste of your own medicine. अब जो आपके ऊपर खुद के ऊपर जो फिदाइन हमले हो रहे हैं, है ना, जो आपकी पैरामिलिट्री फोर्सेस, पुलिस और आर्मी पे हो रहा है, now you can imagine that what you did in Kashmir is actually now happening with you right in your backyard. तो सर आप ये ना बोलें कि India has got anything to do with it. शुरुआत आपने की है, कंट्रोल आपसे बाहर हो चुका है ये सब, एंड नाउ इट ऑल स्टार्टेड जब आपने यूएस को ड्रोन स्ट्राइक्स के लिए अलाउ किया था, जिसमें कि टीटीपी केम इनटू एग्जिस्टेंस, कि तुमने हमारे साथ धोखा किया बिकॉज यू अलाउड द अमेरिकन्स टू यूज द ड्रोन्स टू किल पीपल इन मैरिज प्रोसेशंस, टू किल पीपल इन फ्यूनरल प्रोसेशंस, एंड इट गेव सच अ साइकोलॉजिकल डैमेज टू द पीपल ऑफ पाकिस्तान एंड अफगानिस्तान कि टीटीपी बना और आज आप देखें वो चुन चुन के बदले ले रहे हैं.
And you know, not just that, Major Nadeem, you are a country where army officials wearing the uniform attend the funeral of terrorists.
Yes.
What kind of an army do you have?
I myself have participated and I have seen the complete border.
Wonderful.
I know the Afghanistan. I know
So you are admitting that you promote terrorism as an instrument of state policy.
Basically, Afghanistan is under war since last 40 years. The generation which is now ruling has passed through this war. They are basically the warlords.
Why did you cede the space to another country? Why did you cede your sovereign rights? That's on you.
Warlords. They fight for money and they can do anything for money. India is basically funding them against
Nobody
Pakistan.
is funding anyone, sir.
It is not the
Please let go of these. Please let go of these fantasies. India is funding them apparently. Pathankot Pain, you know, when questioned about their own actions, they will start questioning India.
Madhav, I repeat, India's $4 trillion nominal GDP doesn't need a validation of Pakistan. Its $17 trillion purchasing power parity GDP doesn't need a validation from Pakistan. So Pakistan's education system, as has been narrated by their minister, is the reason that they can't even calculate their own GDP. That's why they say it has not even been properly calculated. And that's the same reason. That's the same reason that you have so much of radicalization within Pakistan, which was done for the sake of controlling Afghanistan as their strategic backyard. Today, the Afghans are actually paying them back in the same coin. So the issue is this: we cannot have a legitimate, a logical debate with Pakistan and presume that things will be sorted out. They have their own agenda in mind, and that will be there. The issue is this: how do we deal with it? Our agenda, our objective is not Pakistan beyond a point. It's an irritation that will be there, and we have to deal with it without even arguing with them. Our aspiration is with China. That is the where, by 2027, we are going to be a $5 trillion economy. In the next 1 decade, we are going to be a $10 trillion economy. Here is a country which has been into the Financial Action Task Force grey list. They have been brought out of the blacklist. They would have been, but because they do the nuisance work of the West, that's the reason they have never been put into the blacklist. But
Absolutely.
we know what happens over there. We know what happened with the Khanani brothers. We know who was printing the fake currencies.
This is a country which goes around telling the world, please don't give us loans. Give us complete donations. When the Prime Minister itself is running around the global platforms begging for money, this is the true reality. And countries that donate money or are being asked for money should see the reality. They're actually trying to indoctrinate children. Is that what those countries want? Is that what they would expect from a country that they are donating money to? We leave it to you to decide. Major Samarpal Tur, Pathankot Pain, Major Nadeem, Dr. Atikur Rahman, thanks so much for joining us this evening.